I love the smell of libraries, don't you? Said Trusty Tate. She took a deep breath and looked around at the bookshelves of the Chimpington School Library. Her best friend, Rachel Waters, smiled at her. I love having you here at school with me, she said. I wish it was longer than a week. It was the it was only the third day of new school year, and it had already turned into the most fun and exciting time at school that Rachel had ever known. She had lots of friends at Chimpington School, but none of them were as special as Kirsty. She had often wished that they could go to the same school. Then Kirsty's school had been flooded, and the repairs were going to take a week. So for 5 days, the best friends were at school together at last. It is turning into quite a week though, Kirsty replied with a grin. Rachel knew that Kirsty was talking about the extraordinary secret they shared. From the time they had met on Ringspell Island, they had been friends of fairyland. Even though they had often had magical adventures since then, it always thrilling to meet brand new fairy friends. And on the first day of this school year, they had been introduced to the school day fairies. I wonder if we will see any of the school day fairies today, Kirsty whispered. Before Rachel could reply, her teacher clapped his hands together to get everyone's attention. I want each of you to choose a book to read, said Mr. Beaker. Then write a few sentences about what you think of the book. All the book reports will be included in the display of the school superintendent's visit. What kind of book should we choose? Asked Adam. Try to pick something that you think will transport you to another world, said Mr. Beaker. I love reading, and the best books are the ones where the story comes to life. The people should seem as real to you as your friends. The children started to wander around the library, browsing the shelves. Be brave in your book choice, Mr. Beaker went on. It might be exciting to pick something you wouldn't normally read. Surprise yourself. There was a loud crash and Amina and Ellie jumped back on the shelves they had been browsing. 3 heavy books had almost landed on top of them. Please be careful, said Mr. Beaker. But they just fell off the shelf, cried Ellie. We didn't touch them. Mr. Beaker, this book is stuck shut, said Adam, who was trying to look at the mystery story. I can't open it. Rachel had just chosen a book called The Princess in the Tower, but when she opened it, none of the sentences made sense. She blinked a few times, wondering if her eyes were playing tricks on her, but there was definitely something very strange about the book. Everything is backwards, she whispered to Kirsty. Listen to how the story begins. After the happily live rose princess, something bad has happened in here. The books are all wrong, and I bet I know why. Kirsty knew exactly what her best friend was thinking. This was all happening because of Jack Frost's goblins. When the girls had met Marissa the science fairy on the first day of school, she had whisked them away to fairyland. There was the other school day fairies had explained that Jack Frost had stolen their magical gold star badges. Without them, lessons would be messed up and boring. Jack Frost has caused so much trouble for the school day fairies, whispered Kirsty in a low voice. We have helped Marissa, the science fairy, and Alice and the art fairy get their badges back, but we have to find all 4 of them to make sure everything is perfect for the royal visit. Queen Titania and King Oberon were planning to pay a visit to the fairies' school. The fairies wanted everything to be perfect for their beloved king and queen, but without their magical badges, the royal visit would be a disaster. Not only that, but the school in the human world will be ruined too. Jack Frost had used the magical badges to open a school for goblins, where he was teaching them all about himself. He thought it was the only subject worth learning, but when he had expelled two of his students for misbehaving, they had stolen the magical badges from him and taken them to the human world. Right now, those pesky goblins were in Templeton School.